I've seen some of the gameplay videos and the still shots from Alabaster Dawn. Is the combat going to be very similar to CrossCode, or is it going to be more? Are there going to be more mechanics to it than just the melee and the ball throwing, or have you just refined that combat more?
I would argue it's like an evolution of the CrossCode combat, though there's like a number of new features. It is, I would argue, a bit more complex because one of the first things we decided to do with Alabaster Dawn is to have multiple weapons and also weapon combo trees. So you do not only have like your standard attack combo. You can do stuff like you can hold the attack button to do a charge attack. You can wait inside your attack combo to kind of like do a delayed attack combo, which is more fancy. Um, you can also do stuff like after you parry an attack, you can follow up with like a special attack. And there's something called the backdash attacks where you have to dash in a certain way and then attack, and then you do like a more like a thrust-based attack. So there's a whole lot more stuff you can actually do. And there's still something like the combat arts and CrossCode as well. So we have those two, but it's like an additional thing now. And yeah, just having multiple weapons that you can swap out already increase the complexity as well, because the weapons they all play like a little bit different. To be frank, they're not 100% different. We kind of like wanted to make sure that people can easily switch weapons without having to invest we didn't want people to really learn a weapon. So like every time they change a weapon, they have to play a different game. Like that was because the way our game is designed is you actually have to use all the weapons. So it's not like you pick your weapon and then you just run the game with it. No, you got to use all of them. It's just designed that way. And we do this by, again, having elements. And the big idea is that you can assign weapons to your elements. And then switching elements will also switch your weapons. And you kind of like, you can choose which weapon to combine with which element. So that's really pretty much up to you. But essentially, you kind of like switch out the elements and your weapons, and you need to attack. Just use both of those depending on the enemy or whatever. Like there's always certain advantages of using certain weapons or certain elements. Similar to like in CrossCode, because CrossCode again, you had like your 4 elements and neutral. And switching elements was very often important to just use the use vulnerabilities of the enemies, things like that. And Alabaster Dawn takes the same idea, just makes it a bit more complex.